Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our guidepost. It's based on something that came up in my memories in Facebook and got a few likes. It was written in 2018. It's called The Simple Life. Life is in the breath. Life is to be found in health. Life is about growth. And for humans, this means emotional and spiritual growth, not just physical. Our sentience, our ability to think, can stop us from just being. Awareness and consciousness always eclipses analysis, so demand a simple life. Accept what is, despite how profoundly you may disagree. Be at peace and let that peace flow out from you until it replenishes the wastelands. Pay less attention to the external, more to the internal. Don't be troubled with the misuse of power. Instead, be the one who quietly speaks your truth. I call for a simple life. I ask you to consider it above the clamour of politics, war, religion, even injustice. Be one who is at peace with what is, so others might enjoy a simple life. From that contagious peace, I believe you will experience emotional and spiritual growth, and that your vibrations will affect the enlightenment and growth of humanity. So, can't remember where it came from. September 2018. I think that's when I was in the middle of doing my my work on creating a poem for each verse of the Tao Te Ching. So it's probably some kind of further expression of the Tao. But it's another one that's got a simple message, like the one that I did on Saturday, the last one I did. It's self-explanatory. I know as human beings, when the mind is at work, it does, for me anyway, unsimplify things. I get all, I love intelligence, I love sentience, I love the ability to be able to consider things and to come up with my own conclusion. But that's not what life's about. It's not about academia or being able to prove that you're cleverer than somebody else. It's about being. We're human beings, not human thinkings. So I think the poem says it all. If you want peace, listen to the poem again at the end. But have you got any comments there, Catherine? You're on mute.
A couple of things. One was like, it reminded me how really simple things in life are free. And sorry, the good things in life are free, whatever. But going back to the simplicity, it's where you put the value. So if you put your value in external things, physical things outside of yourself, then it's going to give you a life where you worry about losing those things, material things. And once you drop that and you go within and you find that peace, that simple peace, then it drops away. The fear of losing things drops away. The fear of not being right, all the things that are outside of yourself drop away. That's what it made me think, and it reminded me of the way, in so much that what we want to focus on is building the future, and that dropping away of the external. I'm not saying you're ignoring the external world, because it's your creation, but stop giving it more importance than what's within. And then you go within and you find that simplicity, that simple love. And literally, the fear drops away. And when that drops away, your life gets a new meaning. That's what I got from that.
Well, I got something from yesterday, and we weren't talking specifically about it. There were at the beginning of our meeting yesterday, we were talking about I intend for this to be, and I've heard that talk before about intention is so important, but it just came alive to me. This, you know, what am I intending with my words, with my life, with my deeds, and even though I wrote this poem called "The Simple Life," I think to get into the energy of its intention, of what the refocusing that it's asking us to do, because once something's written down, it doesn't really matter who the author was. It's what the message is of the poem, and it is called. I think, you know, in the context of the conversation yesterday, do I intend to have a simple life? Do I really want that? Or is it just something, oh, that's a clever thing to write about? Is it the message of my heart, or is it just some clever words? And that's where the difference is between focusing on the external world, which is how can I impress somebody with a point, or how can I change my life from the inside out? How can things become better for me? And the message of the poem goes either way. You know, either you see it as a really clever poem, or you see it as an invitation to go within and to find the simplicity that already exists. It's not that you've got to fight for it; it's already there. And then to set that intention that this is what I want. And if needs be, I need to come back to this poem and read this or something similar to it to maintain the simple life. We get what we intend. There's a quote, we don't get what we want, we get what we expect. And the intention is expectation. You know, we expect a certain thing. So it is a setting of intention. And so I know over the last week or so, Catherine, you've been challenging me when anytime I've mentioned what's happening in Ukraine, you've said to me, you know, we don't want to talk about that because it's, you know, it's speaking it into being. We have the power of words to create peace, or the other one, we can create love or fear. And that's what I was talking about yesterday in the broadcast, that it is a choice between what is to the benefit of all. It might be to certain people's benefit to do certain things in certain ways, but if it's not going to be a blessing to everyone, if it's not going to be kind, if it's not going to be loving, do you really want to be associated with that? Do you really want to be remembered as someone who brought suffering and sadness into other people's lives? Is that really who you are? If it is, then it is, and it's no point in denying the fact that's who you've turned out to be. But there's still time to change. There's still time to go back to that simple life. If you can be still enough for long enough, you might realize, so I'm part of the problem rather than the solution. I'm talking about this, what might happen that's not going to be very nice if it does happen. And I'm helping with my own words. I'm helping to bring that about. And rather than using your words to create havoc in your life and the lives of others, just speak it out. The intention that you have in your heart. What would you like? Well, yesterday was all about we are bringing together a people of love, a tribe, not for our own benefit, but for the benefit of humanity. And we're not the only ones doing it. but there are other groups out there doing exactly the same thing, and we fully align with that. We're not upset that there's any. It's not competition. It's the same thing in different forms throughout the planet, and we're just playing our part. And it's not about ego; it's about love. So, any final thoughts before I read the poem again, Catherine?
Just what came to me was in the man's throwing rocks. It came to the vision that I had the other week, and people throwing rocks in the river and making the river become wild. Then, if he stops throwing rocks, does he become the saviour, or are you the saviour of your own self? Do you look at, if you're looking at the person that throws the rocks and saying, "Oh, the rocks are going to stop now," you're getting involved in the person that stood throwing the rocks story, and that is, to me, what's happening in Ukraine, is that they're creating a story in order to create a fear, and then they will present themselves as the saviour, and stop the thing in their life. But at the end of the day, it's the story is not meant to actually even create the war as such. It's to create the war that's within you, and then when you come from that energy, it has an effect on you. Even if you're in the energy of love, you've still got, like, sort of, you're on that river, and it is still sort of a little bit turbulent, because you're bringing in the turbulence of what they're trying to do, which is what they're trying to do. So you're in that lower frequency.
Yeah, it's pulling you down, isn't it? And
yeah,
I came away from our introduction, our Braxton Hicks of the way, the water breaking of the way yesterday, thinking that I love the news. I love to be informed. And I was thinking, you are not broadcasting the news today. As far as I'm concerned, there's something far more powerful happen this afternoon than what is being shown on the media. This is humanity changing. And I'm not claiming, as I've already said, I'm not claiming anything for what we're doing is better than anything else that's happening. But if it's happening with us, it's happening elsewhere. There are other groups doing exactly the same thing, and it will all join up, and it won't be a unification. It's already unified. When it all joins up, it's like all the jigsaw pieces go into place, and it was the picture was there all along. It's just that it's now assembled in the way that everyone can see, that it's not a jumbled mess, that there is love, there is meaning, there is purpose, there is joy, there is contentment, there is happiness, that all those things exist, but they will happen to the point where the kind of things that news media focus in on, which is where I came from in 2008 with Facebook wanting to right the wrong, try and balance it out, you won't need anybody to have to explain it to you, that there is this choice to make. Everybody will know, and everybody will say, I'm not listening to that kind of media anymore, because I want to immerse myself in the energy of love, and I will find that not just with the way, but I'll find it with all these other groups that are doing exactly the same thing, and it will exist worldwide for humanity and in the locality. And human beings have to do this. They have to what's the word? Transform. That they have to become human 2.0, or maybe it's human 3.0. I don't know, but whichever version of humanity, we have to do that, because the survival of not just human life, but life on planet Earth is at stake, and there is no choice other than the choice of love. It's got to be that way. When it comes down to people seeing this at work around them, they're going to say, yeah, that's what I want to be. No, that's who I want to be with. Those are my kind of people, the kind of people who aren't unkind and aren't unhelpful and aren't egotistical. I want to be with the people who are full of love and kindness and joy and peace and patience. I want to learn from them. I want to understand what's going on in me that prevents me from having been like that. Because I believe we are all like that, really. It's just some kind of lie that we've been told, some kind of mass hypnosis that we've been put under, that we're not love, we are love. So a simple life. Life is in the breath. Life is to be found in health. Life is about growth. And for humans, this means emotional and spiritual growth, not just physical. Our sentience, our ability to think, can stop us from just being. Awareness and consciousness always eclipses in analysis. So, demand a simple life. Accept what is, despite how profoundly you may disagree. Be at peace and let that peace flow out from you until it replenishes the wastelands. Pay less attention to the external, more to the internal. Don't be troubled with the misuse of power. Instead, be the one who quietly speaks your truth. I call for a simple life. I ask you to consider it. Above the clamour of politics, war, religion, even injustice, be one who is at peace with what is, so others might enjoy a simple life. From that contagious peace, I believe you will experience emotional and spiritual growth, and that your vibrations will affect the enlightenment and growth of humanity. Namaste.